When I was 32, I had a breakdown. Not just a blip that veered my life off track for a bit, but a full-blown, come into work drunk, try to shag my boss, then get fired and end up in a psych ward kind of breakdown. So I moved back in with my mum to recover. There's nothing quite like being a full-grown adult crammed into your childhood bed as you cry yourself to sleep to truly make you reevaluate your life. I felt a lot of shame at the time because while my friends were getting married and buying houses, I was telling my mum what time I'd be home for chicken nuggets and potato smiles. Obviously, I felt like a complete failure and I had to start my life from scratch. The task was daunting and I didn't know if I'd ever get back on my feet, but that was 4 years ago now, and since then I've got sober, moved out into my own place, fallen in love and rejoined the workforce. If you're in a similar position and life has thrown you one too many curveballs recently, I want you to know that you are not a hopeless piece of human garbage who can never be redeemed. This could have taken you out completely, but you're still here and you will rebuild.
Have you ever asked yourself, oh, why am I feeling this way? Why am I so sad all the time? You're not alone. Depression can feel like a heavy cloud that follows you everywhere. But today, we're going to explore what depression is, why it happens, and most importantly, how you can take the steps to start feeling better. Stick around because this might be the most important conversation we've ever had. First, let's understand what depression really is. Sadness is something we all experience. It's a part of being human. But depression is different. It's when those feelings of hopelessness, fatigue, and disinterest persist and interfere with your daily life. You might lose interest in the things you once loved, feeling constantly drained, or struggle to even get out of bed. Some of the symptoms of depression can be feeling hopelessness, lack of energy, fatigue, difficulty concentrating, loss of appetite, or overeating, and disinterest in hobbies, work, or school. Depression doesn't always have a single cause. It can stem from your genetic makeup, stressful life events like divorce or a job loss, or even past trauma. Loneliness and substance abuse are also major contributors. But no matter the cause, it's important to know that depression is not a sign of weakness. I feel like it's very important to know how common depression is. Did you know that over 280 million people worldwide live with depression? It's incredibly common, yet it's often misunderstood. Depression doesn't just affect your mind, it impacts your work, relationships, and even your physical health. So, how do you begin to feel better? Let's talk about some practical steps you can take to start today. So, tip 1, start talking to people. Talking to someone you trust can make a world of difference. It doesn't have to be a therapist. It could be a close friend or a family member. You don't need to have all the answers or even know how to explain everything you're feeling. The important part is that they're listening without judgment. Join a support group or consider online therapy if in-person interactions feel overwhelming. The second tip I'll give is to get moving. Exercise might be the last thing you feel like doing when you're depressed, but even a short 15-minute walk can boost your mood for hours. Research shows that regular exercise can be as effective as medication in treating depression. Find something you enjoy, dance to your favorite music, take a yoga class, or simply stretch. Movement is medicine. So the third step I'll give is refrain from negative thoughts. Our thoughts have incredible power. Depression can make you feel like you're stuck in a loop of negativity, saying, I'm a failure, or nothing will ever get better. But what if you challenge those thoughts? For instance, if you say, I'll never get out of debt, don't say that. Say, I can start with small steps to manage my finances. Ask yourself, is this thought true? What would I say to a friend if they felt this way? You might be surprised at how your perspective shifts. The fourth tip that I will give is find contentment within. It's easy to blame life circumstances for how we feel, but even in tough times, there's always a way to find peace within yourself. Be your own friend. Practice self-compassion. Focus on the things you've done well, no matter how small, and give yourself credit. One thing you can do before bed, write one thing you're grateful for or hopeful about. The fifth tip I could give is practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is about staying present in the moment. Depression often traps us in the past or makes us worry about the future. Try focusing on something simple, like the way your breath feels or the sound of your favorite song. So, some things you can do to be mindful is listen to music mindfully, do a chore while washing dishes with your full attention, try a guided meditation, anything that will keep you here in the now. Tip number 6, express gratitude. Even on your darkest days, there's usually something to be grateful for. It could be the warmth of the sun, the laughter of a friend, or comfort of your pet. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right. Tip number 7, find joy in the simple things. Small moments of joy can make a big difference. Watch a funny video, play a game, or take up a new hobby. These activities may not solve everything, but they can give you a break from the heaviness of depression. Tip number 8, get a daily dose of sunlight. Sunlight is a natural mood booster. Try to spend at least 15 minutes a day outdoors. If you live in a place with little sunshine, consider using a light therapy box. It's a simple way to brighten your outlook, literally. So for me personally, I used to stay in the state of Michigan, which isn't as gloomy as Washington or, Oregon or places like that, but in the wintertime, I would get seasonal depression because we didn't have as many hours of daylight. Subsequently, I ended up moving to New Mexico, which has around almost 300 days of sun. Think about that. Maybe you don't want to do as drastic as I did, which is moving to a whole nother state, but it did make a huge difference. Depression looked very different in Michigan than how it did out in New Mexico. It wasn't really like seasonal depression that I have. It was more so like homesickness that I had than actual like seasonal depression once I moved to a much sunnier area. So something that can be considered. Last but not least, tip number 9, seek help for unaliving thoughts. If you're having thoughts of self-harm or unaliving, please know that help is available. You are not alone and your life does matter. Talk to someone, whether it's a trusted friend, family member, or a crisis hotline. If you are feeling this way, there are resources down in the description box below so that you can seek help. Depression can feel like an endless battle, but it's one you don't have to fight alone. Start with small steps, talk to someone, get moving, or take a moment to breathe. You're stronger than you think, and there's always hope for a brighter tomorrow. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who might need it. And remember, you are not alone. Thank you all for watching, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you felt like this video gave you any value. See you guys in the next video. Bye.
That makes me feel so much better. That literally,
I have the power within me to make anything happen. I take life into my own hands, and I do not let any external factors determine the course of my life, because I know that I am the creator of my life and I decide where it goes.